Oh, we're live.
We are live. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey everyone.
It's been a minute since I've been around. It
It has been a long time.
feels like it has been. I haven't gone live or anything since the documentary aired, but I've had a lot going on personal wise in my personal life. Um, hey
Yeah.
Heather. So basically what's happened to fill everybody in is all week we were worried about what was happening at work. As everybody knows, this whole coronavirus thing's going down. And for the last week and a half, I've been worried about getting laid off or shut down because um, like I work for a company that works for Toyota, and Toyota is like our boss. Basically, we're a third party underneath them, so they tell us
Hmm.
what's going on. Basically, we've been waiting to see what they've been doing, but so now they've announced that we're on a 2 week shutdown, maybe longer, depending on what's happening. But we've been worried about that for a while, and we've been having meetings every day and taking all these precautions and doing all these things. But it's been pretty stressful to say the least. So that's where I've been. But I wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody. It's been a while, and I thought it'd be fun to catch up. So
Yeah.
I know that you, Stace, did a live with Shannon and Susie, and I still haven't had a chance to watch it actually. What did you guys talk about in it? What did I miss?
I just went on a massive rant about the documentary, obviously,
Right.
and the fact that everyone's pouncing on Charlie Sheen and how guilty he is, and he's a scumbag, and he's this and he's that. There's not one ounce of proof to prove what he's been accused of.
Right.
And everyone's neglecting the fact that Judy has been screaming from the top of her voice for the last 2 years that it was Dominic that abused her kid.
Yeah.
Feldman in that 2 years has never once said, "Oh yeah, she's right." He's blanked it, and
Yep.
now suddenly in the documentary, it's not only true; it was a consensual relationship with a child.
Okay, first of all, he can, wrap it up any way he wants to wrap it up and sell it to people, but a child underage is not able to give consent. So that's bullshit, first of all. Second of all, this has been going on for several years with the whole Sheen allegations, and we explained in Judy's interview, she explained how that came about, and what happened there, and how that happened. And then she also has said loud and clear, even on national TV with Dr. Oz, that it was Dominic Brasha that abused Haim. So first of all, my first question is um, Feldman likes to claim that Judy's lying and covering it up, and he's saying that she's being paid off, and then turns around and says she's not, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just want to know logically, if she named Brasha as Haim's abuser, why would she not do the same if it actually indeed happened with Charlie Sheen?
Well, exactly. And there's too many people, in my opinion, and it's not sitting right with me, that are overlooking the fact that he is making this to be consensual. Why is
Yeah.
no one picking up on that?
Well, that was my first thing I said was like, a person underage can't consent. When
Yeah.
I was younger, like we're talking different times. We're in a totally different world now. Like I get that. The climate has changed. The focus is more on, child sex abuse. But I can remember being 14 years old and having a crush on my brother's friend, and he was 27. And I
Yeah.
didn't think anything of it at the time, but my parents sure did. And they were like, if we find out anything's happened, like we're gonna charge him. And they knew John, like they knew him, they liked him, but they also knew that I was 14 and he was 27. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So and like I said, that was a totally different climate back then. Thank
Well,
God
yeah.
nothing happened, and it didn't end up having to go that route and stuff like that. But you know, I can't believe for the life of me that he would try and sell it to people that it was consensual. That is not even
It
valid.
sickens me.
Yeah, it's not even a valid point. You're a
The
fucking
second,
idiot, Coleman.
the second that I watched that documentary and I heard him say it was consensual, I just literally said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I know.
Like, seriously, how much lower can you go?
Yeah. Everyone knows the night that it aired, like I was speaking with several people that night, and it was crazy first of all, I have to state the obvious and say that that was totally a gift from Haim because it was meant to happen that way.
Yeah.
It was not meant to be out when Feldman wanted it out. That I don't care what anybody says. It was a clear sign that that's the way that it was supposed to be. That day is special, it's sacred, and that was like a big fuck you from Haim to Feldman. Okay, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
And I truly believe that. Like, I don't care if people think I'm nuts, but I really do believe that everything happens for a reason. And, you know, like we all knew that he didn't prep the way that he's trying to sell everybody that he did. But I have to say that I was happy about that. Second thing was it was very difficult not only to watch the documentary because like we didn't know that our parts were cut out, thank God. So we weren't actually talked about in the documentary. Gina's, most of her part was cut out, I believe. She only was in there for like 2.2 seconds, I swear.
Yeah.
He was in there longer than her. So I'm sure she's upset about that. But so that caused a lot of stress. Like, I mean, the anxiety level was pretty high, I gotta admit. And I felt a big relief after I realized that that part was out of it. Having said that, it was also difficult to watch because like we were watching it, you know, how we were watching it, streaming it. And there was a lot of glitches and the timing was off and it was very difficult to watch besides the fact that the subject matter is bullshit, you know. One thing I'd like to make very clear, because I do have a lot of new subs, and one thing I would like to make common knowledge to everybody is I don't want you to get the wrong idea and think that I'm against the message that he's trying to get out there.
Oh God, no.
I actually stand behind him in the sense that he's trying to change the statute of limitations. It was my idea for him to start going that angle. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. And do I think he's the one who's, you know, hitting the go button? No. But I think that is right in the message that he's trying to send. The part that I disagree with is that A, he's telling Haim's story when he's not here to defend himself and correct him. And B is it's not his story to tell. And not to mention he's also not being truthful, so it makes him hard to follow and believe.
It's not even just that. I mean, the whole 90 minutes is an attack on Judy and making Corey Haim look like a drugged up sex addict. I'm sorry, but that's the gist of the whole documentary.
That's the picture he painted, very much so. And I think that's wrong. I've lost lots of best friends. God, I lost my spouse for fuck's sakes. And, you know, did I love everything about the people that passed? No. But do you ever hear me speak poorly of them? Stacey, we've talked about this many, many times. No, that's not what you do if you love someone. And, you know, he tries to say that Haim was his best friend and Haim asked him to tell his story if anything happened to him, which Dre also confirmed Judy's story and saying, no, that never happened. So there's that fun fact. But then also just the way that he talks about him, even now, like when he does, he always finds a way to make a little dig about it. And you just don't do that to best friends. And you also don't treat their mother the way that he's treating Judy Haim.
Of course not.
You don't do
it. There was a point that I wanted to make that I've come to realise since obviously watching the documentary. There's a lot of people on Twitter that have been coming at me since the release and saying that obviously Judy's in denial or she knew or something. There's always something to be said. Well, Corey Feldman wants you to believe that we're all working for Charlie Sheen. We're all getting paid. You know, we've been put up to this. It was actually Corey Feldman that told us he was going to name Charlie Sheen in that documentary.
Right.
When he filed that TRO, he made it crystal clear who he was talking about.
Yeah, he did.
So it was him that told us that it was Charlie. So sit on that one, Feldman.
It was him that actually let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. And I don't know if I should say this or not. Well, there's nothing wrong in saying this. Is I knew that for a fact as well as everyone else. And I made sure that Judy found out because she needed to know that this is what's going to be said. Like, not only is he blaming Sheen, but he's making it look like it came from Judy. And she's the queen of the wolf pack. I love that nickname because she is a queen.
She is, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would defy anyone to go through a quarter of what she has been through and still be standing.
She's a feisty, strong woman. I love her. She's the best. So she's strong, she's tougher than she knows, and she knows she's tough.
Exactly.
So, but do I worry about her? Absolutely, I do.
Mm.
I worry about anybody that would be going through that. Like, I know how
Oh yeah,
stressful it is for me
definitely.
and it is for my child.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, like, times a million for her, you know. So I totally understand, you know. And she's
Um,
kept pretty quiet about a lot of things, which good on her, because I know I haven't been able to keep quiet. I've
I
taken a break
haven't
this
either.
last week, but that's only because of my work situation
Yeah,
overshadowing everything else.
yeah.
So
But yeah, like it's just baffling to me how people are watching this documentary and not realizing that they've been taken for a fool.
well, we didn't, because we didn't pay for the damn oh, well, you did, but
I did. But
well, you know.
then that's me. I paid for the fan site too, so hey ho.
Oh, so does everybody know that Corey's in Jamaica right now? Apparently, allegedly at a swingers resort.
Yes, I did
So,
hear that.
good luck, Cora, trying to get back in the country, because right now, since you've been gone, states are on lockdown. Um,
California is shut down.
California, New York, I heard, and other states are supposed to be following suit. I gotta admit, I've been following the Canadian version because I want to see how it's affecting me, obviously, like, especially now with my work situation. I'm watching the news more than I ever have. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, me and my brother had a good conversation about it today, and he was saying, I'm like, why are they doing this to all the states? He's like, it's gonna get worse. And I said, well, why? And he's like, I don't know. He rambles. He has a lot of useless information, but this time it's coming in handy, I guess. But he's like, it's so popular, the dense, I don't know, population density and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, and he's like, you know, they were ahead of us on the curve. They have a lot more sick people than what Canada has, right? And I don't
Yeah.
know. I kind of get that glazed look in my eye when he talks too long, because, you know, I have
Um,
ADD. So
something else we covered in the last live as well was
huh?
like obviously we've been following this for the last 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And we know full well he's always said that Zen would never be in the spotlight. He never wants to put him out there. He
Right?
doesn't he doesn't agree with kids being in films, XYZ, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like put his kids in this documentary, even though he's apparently fearing for his life.
Well, okay, so there's something to be said about that. Yes, he has always said that he wasn't going to put him in front of a camera until he was 18. Then he literally put him in front of a camera. Second of all, his relevance to being in the documentary is still not understood by myself, because he would have been only about 4 years old when Haim died.
And he's calling him Uncle Corey.
Yeah, like, he would have very little to no memory from 4 years old. Like, I don't know how old you were when you first started memory, but I have the odd one here and there, but not vivid. Like, you know what I mean? You're 4.
Yeah, I've got no memories from when I was 4.
Yeah. Like,
So
one weird memory, but like, my dad took me on a bike, you know, those bikes that have the kid seat on the back? Well, he takes me down this fucking trail and it's so narrow. He falls off a cliff and I'm hanging upside down from the cliff on the bike, strapped in, and he's fallen, like, I don't know how far down he dropped, but all I remember is all these people running to him. And you know how old you must have been to be in the back of a kid's seat, right? Like, maybe
yeah.
2 or 3. Like, but I thought, oh my god, like, I'm stuck. You know what I mean? I couldn't get out of the bike. So yeah, it's pretty scary. But that was my first memory. Like, but
2
I don't remember.
seconds.
Yeah.
Cindy has said, I don't understand how any of these people in the documentary that were friends with Corey Haim didn't say, whoa, man, what are you doing? This isn't right. And Shannon said, because they weren't his real friends, which is fair enough.
Right.
But, like, isn't Jameson Newlander older?
I think by maybe a year or 2. I don't know for sure.
I mean, the fact that he spoke the way he did in that documentary pissed me off, because as far as I was concerned, he was a good guy. But here we are.
Well, you know, Corey makes all these tall claims for such a short little man. You know, like, that Christophe St. John was in it. He, again, like, these people that he had in it, Marcy Hamilton, like, none of them corroborated a story, like, because they weren't there and they didn't see any information. Did you see anybody in the documentary saying anything that Feldman said?
Nope.
Did you see any of them saying, yeah, Cora, I remember that? Like, oh my God, do you remember this time? Or I seen this happen? Or none of them were there for any reason of any valid significance.
Well, Keith Coogan wasn't the one that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Those tears were fake. They were fake as hell.
Yeah, they were. They were.
And trying to claim that Corey Haim was doctor shopping. Who does he think he is?
Yeah. Again, it's just proving what we talked about earlier about, not bringing up the best stories. Like, it's just, it makes me sick. Like, it really pisses me off. Yeah. Like, I don't even talk about my enemies like that.
No. And the only other one that really got on my nerves was Susie
Sprague.
Yeah.
Her part in it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been or could have been. I wasn't happy about her.
The fact that she apologized to Susie and then went and did that, she makes me sick.
Oh, yeah, 100% on that part. But I was expecting her to be worse in it. So
yeah.
In fact, I was expecting the whole thing to be a lot worse. So I prepared myself. I mean, it wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't fucking even close to movie of the year, but
I'm quite happy to admit that I felt traumatized after watching it.
You felt traumatized? See, again, yeah. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. When I watched it, it was hard to watch because the glitches and all that. By the time I got to the end of it, like there was audio issues, all kinds of shit. By the time I got to, and I didn't even see the end. I missed about the last 15 minutes of the end. So, and when I seen it like 2 days ago or something, because somebody said he cut that piece of hair, and I'm like, what? I don't remember him doing that, but yeah, he did. I seen it at the fucking cemetery. I hope that is gone away.
I wasn't traumatized because of the things that obviously got said in it.
Yeah.
Not because of the allegations, because we all seen that coming. It was just the level of spite and nastiness and evilness in the entire thing.
Well, I thought it was going to be worse. I thought there was going to be a lot more about the wolf pack. Apparently there was, and apparently it was cut out. And he talked about it at the premiere when he blamed Susie and Shannon for, hijacking his stream. And but he said something jokingly about making a movie about the wolf pack because he didn't want to give us a forum and make it all about us, because he said that's the way it was going. And there's no doubt that that's coming, because that's a story he's yet to tell, right? Like, he's got to be the victim. Of course. So I'm still waiting for that. But he originally, when he rolled this out, said there was going to be a companion piece to go along with it, and now has later said no, that's not going to happen now. Wow. So I guess we're not getting our 5 minutes of fame like people seem to think we want. It's not about that.
I'm Twitter famous. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
I feel bad that you've been getting attacked on Twitter. Sorry about that.
It is what it is. I'm used to it.
I know, but usually I fight with you. I just have been so distracted this week. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I was more worried about my job.
Yeah, of course. So.
But yeah. So he's in Jamaica living it up. He's not going to be able to get back into the country when he does come back. We're all fucking house quarantined, so this is what house arrest would be like, I'm assuming.
So, you can guarantee if he's on house arrest, it won't be long before there's some more Twitter drama. It's going to be something.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he is.
He's going to end up bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's when he does stupid shit.
Mm-hmm. Especially after that article that we just saw.
I was just going to mention that. So there was an article that just popped up on Twitter.
I can screen share it.
Yeah, do that. Because then people can't get mad at us for talking about it. Because it wasn't that wrote the fucking article.
Talk while I find it then.
Okay, I'm going to check out the chat because I've been just talking away and haven't even looked at this chat. So, hey everyone, by the way. I think I've already said that. Let's see what's going on. I'm not going to name everybody in here. You know who y'all are, huh?
Oh, God.
He worked his balls off. Did you guys see that?
It still makes me laugh.
I know.
Oh my God.
He lost his shit. It was like a Tourette's moment.
And Courtney as well. Wow.
Yeah, Courtney even got into it, and she never does.
Watch the documentary before you talk shit. Fuck off.
Yeah. The M3 in the comments. Dakota, what's your deal? You were just out, bro.
That dog hates not getting your attention.
I know.
Whenever I call you, he's like shouting.
I know, right? So he's telling me what to do. Get up here in your spot. Let's go. Come on.
Oh God.
I gotta
come
go.
on.
If I tell him I gotta go, he just lays down. So I learned to lie to him.
Right. No, that's a picture. Go away.
Okay, let me see here. Sorry, I'm just reading. See what I missed in the chat. Yes, Keith Coogan is a pathetic loser like Feldman. And Jameson Newlander is a douche. I watched him in the live that he did with Corey. Was it the night before the documentary, or was it the night?
I think it was a few days before.
Few days before. Okay. Yeah, that one really irritated me. He's a lot like Feldman in so many ways because like he was there to support Feldman, but yet he's plugging his shows and all these other things, projects that he's got going on. So it was kind of funny. It was like a little opportunity for him to promote himself.
Right, I found this article. So when you're ready, I will click share and read it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okie doke. Oh, got it. Corey Feldman's alleged abuser, Marty Weiss, slams paedophile documentary as a con job and says he's preparing. Oh, 2 seconds. Oh my God. He's preparing legal response. When asked about Feldman's allegations in his new documentary, My Truth, The Rape of the Two Coreys, Weiss told MEA Worldwide, I'm currently determining a legal process. Or a legal response, sorry. One of Corey Feldman's alleged abusers, Marty Weiss, has slammed the actor's recently released documentary where he mentioned 80s talent manager Weiss as one of the people who molested him when he was a child actor. Feldman had long promised an expose of high-profile celebrities in Hollywood who engage in paedophilia and continue to work in the entertainment industry. The actor, in his documentary on March 10th, revealed the names of Charlie Sheen, Weiss, John Grissom, and Alfie Hoffman among the men who sexually assaulted him and his late best friend Corey Haim when they were children. Weiss, a registered sex offender, however, took to Twitter shortly after the release of the film to suggest Feldman was a liar and possibly conning people for their money. Why would Corey Feldman use my name, Weiss wrote on March 10th, to make money from gullible followers, to falsely take credit for outing something in my past, to bash the Haim family, to separate himself from our friendship so no one would ever question if he and I have something in common, #truth. Weiss, 54, was a child talent manager in Hollywood and he was sentenced to prison in 2012 on child molestation charges after singer Evan Hensley approached the authorities. He served 6 months in a prison sentence and was made to sign a sex offenders register. Feldman later accused Weiss of molesting him too. Weiss now states he is on the path of redemption. And I think that's the end of it, possibly. Let me just see. When asked about Feldman's allegations in his new documentary, Weiss told MEA Worldwide he was preparing a legal statement to respond to the accusations. I appreciate you reaching out to me for comment regarding Corey Feldman and his false allegations, he said in a statement. I'm currently determining a legal response. My official response thus far must be limited to my tweets. Please feel free to read through those. The 54-year-old questioned Feldman's intentions in his new film. Why would Corey Feldman try to make Corey Haim look like a druggy sex addict if they were best friends forever? He asked on Twitter. Why would he attack Haim's mother, whom Corey Haim so deeply loved, if they were BFFs? Why would he destroy the Haim family's sacred day of mourning for a lost son and brother if they were best friends? The film portrays Feldman's friend Haim as obsessed with sex in his teens and a drug addict. Feldman in his film also slammed Haim's mother, Judy Haim, for allegedly orchestrating attacks against him through an online group called the Wolfpack. It is possible Corey Feldman is a liar. The Haim and Me story, the procurer, setting up Haim and possibly others to be molested by Dominic Brasher, the protector, the man who backed his emancipation, and Paul Rubens, and a supporter, Ginger Lynn. Is he conning people for their money? Weiss tweeted. From experience, I do feel somewhat sorry for Corey Feldman. I do believe there were sexual encounters with John Grissom and Ginger Lynn when he was underage, in addition to neglect and verbal parental abuse. But he must stop taking it out on the Haims and get interventional therapy, he added. Feldman, prior to his film's release, had said he was keeping a promise to his best friend to reveal to the world about the sexual and emotional abuse they had both gone through. Oh my God, is this coming to an end? Huh. Yeah, that's the end.
Well, he actually made some good points, or the journalist. I don't know if that was quotes or like I wasn't looking at it, but I mean, he did make some good points about being the best friend and basically what we were saying earlier. So that's bang on. He mentioned Dominic, so you know, there you go. I mean, and like even Feldman mentioned Dominic in the movie, although he didn't highlight the part where they live together. I think he forgot that part. Good thing we're on it, you know, and let people know the real deal of what's going on. You know, he didn't want people to know that he lived with Brasher.
Yeah. But you know, we're not blind. We know for a fact that Marty has constantly denied the claim that he ever touched Corey Haim.
Yeah.
We know that for a fact because he said it publicly.
Yeah.
So he has every right to come forward and sue him for this.
Who?
Marty.
Sue Feldman?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a fucking plot twist?
he has a right to, though, to be fair, because it's slander.
No, I know, but wouldn't that be a plot twist no one's seen coming?
Oh, yeah, it would.
That would be, like, truly something else. Like,
just to make clear, me saying this is not protecting paedophiles. I know that's what Corey likes to say. I'm not.
Oh, and others make comments too that we're pedo protectors. No, we're not pedo protectors. And we're all about telling the truth. But I don't talk about other people's stories. I talk about my own stories. Do you know what I mean? Or how it's affected me in my life. You don't go around telling people stories of people that are deceased and not here to tell their own story. That's the part that I have a problem with. I also have a problem with the way he treats Judy Haim, the things he said about her, the pain he's caused her.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind what he said about me and my friends and you, all of us.
Yeah.
So that is at the very bottom of the list, which it should be at the top, because for some people it's all about them, right? For me, it's not. It's about what he's doing to everybody else, and like really what he's doing to Judy. That's what I don't like. If he was willing to be truthful and do good work and do good things and do his work for Child USA and change the statute of limitations and quit asking people for fucking money, then maybe I would support the guy and stand behind the cause. And I did stand behind his cause, more so than he fucking did. I'm the one who created the petition, not him. I'm the one who nominated him for fucking Child USA and helped him keep that position when they were willing to strip it from him. You know what I mean? It's not that I didn't support the cause. I still do. And I still agree with those things he's doing. What I don't agree with are the things that I've mentioned. And you need to make that clear, because people like to take your words and make them something that they're not and make up stories. Well, if you guys think that we're pedo protectors, show fucking proof, because I'm sick of your bullshit too. And you know who I'm talking about. London Bridge is falling down.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I'm sure you knew who I was ranting about when I started getting heated. Yeah, you know me. So, I mean, you know, and everyone in the chat is like, huh? Yeah, Jules did a fucking video. Somebody sent me the, like, little clip of it where she was talking about me, and this is to you, Kim Rocks, and she said something, and then she's like, lady! Like, you know how she does.
I can't even.
Yeah, she drives me insane. But yet she lines herself with all these people that hate her and that she hated to begin with. So, like, it just shows volumes of the type of person she is. Her character is so outstanding. It's not like
Of
she doesn't have a
course.
long history of lying, about she was terminally ill. Well, pretty sure you're still alive a couple years later. You like to play the card, oh, I've tried to kill myself. I'm in the hospital. This and that. No, you're looking for attention. And that's a sore subject with me because of what happened to Andrew, and she knows the story too, so she can fuck off and say, oh, she was making fun of me. No, I'm not making fun of you. If you have mental health issues, which you clearly do, you need to get help for them, and you need to quit focusing on what I'm doing and what others are doing, and maybe focus on yourself and get your own shit together, lady.
Boom.
Sorry, I went on a little rant, but it needed to be said because I can't address the woman like a woman because, she says all these things from a blocked profile. Well, lady, my Twitter handle is KIMST2. If you got something to say, you can unblock me and come and say it like a woman. Otherwise, shut your fucking trap. Boom. Again.
Just too many mic drops.
Well, I mean, seriously, if you got something to say, either say it to my face or don't bother saying it at all. Like, you want to talk about me on someone's channel that I don't even watch. Like, I wouldn't have I've never seen it if someone didn't send it. Do you know what I
Well,
mean? You know who I'm
yeah.
talking about, and I don't even want to mention their names. So,
No.
I mean, it's not about that person. It's about Jules and what she's doing and other people who seem to get the wrong idea. And I'm trying to make it extremely clear what our intentions are. And it's not that we're trying to protect anybody or,
There's
you know,
there's no point in trying to convince anyone that you're doing the right thing, especially when they know that, because they were doing the same thing when.
absolutely. And in the same clip that I got sent, the real truth of the matter was in that clip, and I don't even think she realized it. She's upset that I'm doing lives with Susie, and Judy's in the chat. Well, I'm sorry, Jules, but you were the weakest link and you got blocked by all of us. And then that's when everything started to happen. And that's the truth. You were on this side. You were doing videos. You wanted all this special recognition because you went above and beyond, you felt in your mind, than anybody else. And when you felt like you weren't in the spotlight anymore, that's when you turned on everybody. And that's when everybody said, screw this, we're out. And that's the truth of what happened. So there you go. There's another truth bomb because that's exactly how it went down, and she knows it. So I don't regret it. At first, I regretted blocking her because, she had a falling out with Susie. And then I felt like I got involved when I shouldn't have. But I did the right thing, seeing how she behaved afterwards, after the fact. And then to turn around and give out Judy Hames' email, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. That's all I can say about that. Like, there's nothing else to be said. I've said it all. But see, that's the type of person I am. If I have a problem, you know it. I'm not going to go behind your back and be a skeezy son of a bitch. I'm going to tell you straight up. And you're more than welcome to come at me. I gave you my Twitter handle, and feel free to make a freaking video if you need to, because you seem to like doing that when you've got backup. I don't see you being able to handle yourself on your own.
Well, no, look at that problem before when she thought something was happening and I kicked off, made videos defending her.
So did I.
And ended up getting basically threatened for doing so.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say.
Well, and that's what happened with me, and that's why I'm upset, is because I did go to bat for her. She came to me upset, saying that she was suicidal and been in the hospital, and that these people weren't going to be happy until she was dead, and all because they kept making fun of her. And I made that, well, you know what I did with that video that I got the 90-day ban for.
Yeah.
Well, we made it. I didn't want to throw you under the bus, but
of course we did.
I know. So, and
got a
I later since apologized to Percy because she didn't deserve that. You know what I mean?
No, because we since found out that the hooker is the biggest snake in the world.
Yeah, and that's
she caused the majority of arguments that everyone has.
That is a straight up fact, and she still continues to do it, and she doesn't even have a clue as to how stupid she is either.
Oh God!
I'll say about that, but and back to what I was saying about Jules, you know, we made that video, and then it created another shitstorm after that. And then shortly after that, that's when she started being two-faced and turning on everybody. And it was like, this is not the type of person I want to consider a friend. Like, I'm very limited as to who I add on Facebook. Okay. I'll give out my Twitter handle all day long because I don't care. But my Facebook is kind of like my private, you know,
Yeah, me too.
like it's my family, it's my friends, it's my real life. Like, I mean, not to say that Twitter isn't my real life either, but I can limit to, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between Facebook and Twitter.
Well, yeah, with me, like you will not see one picture of my kids on Twitter,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they're all
Because
over my Facebook.
yeah, Twitter's nuts. Like, it's a different animal altogether.
I don't
People,
trust I get attacked on a daily basis by these people.
yeah,
They would not think twice about using pictures of my kids to get at me.
yeah.
So I won't do it.
I remember the one day some weirdo guy from another country took your kid's pictures and you were freaking out. Remember that?
Yeah, sharing it on Facebook saying how cute she was.
Yes. And it's like, people are fucking insane.
Yeah.
So, like, my shit's on lockdown, like, it's tightened up. Like, my security, unless you're my friend, you don't see anything much. Like, I think my cover photos and a couple other, like, random things, but beyond that, like, everything else is, like, private.
Yeah, same.
Open my world up. And, you know, she crossed that line as far as I'm concerned, and I seen this side of her, and it's very upsetting when you think somebody's a certain way and you find out that they're not. So that's really
Yeah.
what it comes down to, is like, I thought she was a good person with a good heart and was doing good things to try and help Judy and others. And then when she starts throwing it in everybody's face, all she did, it's like, you're not doing it for the right reasons then, because when you do a good deed, you don't go around bragging that you did a good deed. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
You look like an ass. You just, like, that's not why you should be doing something. If you do something kind with an expectation of something in return, then you're not being a kind person.
No, you're
You
being
have an agenda.
selfish.
Yeah, you have an agenda. So that's the difference between her and I. And, you know, anger aside and snottiness aside, like, she could say whatever she wants about me, talk about my physical appearance, this and that, whatever. I honestly, at the end of the day, I don't care. My point is if you have something to say and you want to discuss it, then come to me and discuss it. If you don't want to, then just shut your mouth and I'll do the same. It's very simple. Very, very
Well
simple.
said.
So that's enough on that subject.
Yeah, I think that was a bit. I think that was like 5 minutes more than they deserve. But
Totally. But I just, again, to be
it's having
clear,
something to say. Yeah.
yeah, because we have to assume that some people watching don't necessarily know these people or the story or the situation, and I don't want them to get the wrong idea. So,
And you also probably know that they're watching too. So hi.
yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm not a bitch, I promise.
No, you're not. Because we
I
all have moments, you know, like I can be, but it takes time to get to that point. But once I'm there, look out. Oh,
oh, Heather, no.
what?
I just want to read that out. She was pretending to be a dominatrix when she was on JB's channel.
Really?
I can see it.
Oh.
Thanks.
Yeah, like that went to a place
Mm,
I don't want to talk about.
that went dark.
I don't want to be nasty. Like, I've said what I had to say about it, and you know, that's what it is. You love my laugh? That's hilarious because either people love it or they hate it.
Oh, did I tell you that I had it out with a certain flip-flopping witness the other day?
Who, Sharice?
Lindsay.
I think so.
She was all at Feldman's ass about how amazing the documentary is and how proud of him she is, blah blah blah.
Huh.
So I scrolled further back then and found that on the Monday when the doc was meant to be out,
Yeah.
she'd tweeted him going nuts because she paid, what was it? She was in the fucking thing. She paid to watch it. She still can't get to see it. Angry is an understatement. Maybe my doing a tell-all interview will make him move his ass.
Why? So she could later deny doing it?
So I was like, oh, really, lady? Really? You
Yeah.
already done that when you came back from LA and he ignored you for 4 months.
So just to clarify to everybody watching who Lindsay is she did actually appear in the documentary. She's either Team Feldman or she hates him. So it's one or the other. And I guess this week's mood is that she's in favor of him. So continue.
I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
I'm sorry. About
yeah, she kicked off and threatened him.
Monday.
Yeah. So I was then taking screenshots of all my chats with her on Facebook and posting them to her and saying, "Oh look, so that's you said in this that you were sorry to Judy, and you felt really bad, and Feldman's a liar, blah blah blah." She's then telling me that the screenshots are fake.
Right. But what about her voice notes? I do remember some of this conversation now.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, yeah, the voice notes, Linz. I can't fake your voice, can I?
No.
And you called Corey Feldman a rapist.
Yep. Yeah, she did.
Yeah. And yeah, then she blocked me.
Huh.
So
people can't handle the truth. They're allergic to it. Some people are. That's fine because I'm allergic to lies.
Yeah, and all this bullshit she was saying about how she got to LA, she wasn't allowed to replace her phone that got stolen. She was rushed straight to the interview, no shower, no sleep. She looked a mess, and was rushed straight back to the airport to go home.
Right.
Look at her in the documentary.
Yeah.
Hair's done, makeup's done, dressed up.
I thought she still looked like shit. Her hair was half black, half blonde. It looked like shit.
She did look like shit, but she was still done up.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've got no time for this bullshit, to be honest.
Future girl on Twitter, and she's never said a word to her. Yeah, that's what these people do. Like all of them, they're afraid of confrontation. They just want to hide behind blocked profiles.
Yeah.
Live their little sheltered lifestyle with Love and Corey. Yeah, she looked haggard.
But there's voice notes of her saying about how controlling he was of Courtney, how she got upset over Twitter or something and started crying, and he's filming it.
She was upset because Bobby Wolf released the interview with Jackie.
Yeah. Like, yeah, she was crying and he's filming it. Then for her to say like about the rape and everything else, and it's like, well, how does he forgive that for a start anyway?
Well, it came from their camp that she's still in the documentary, but she's not credible because of the interview she did with us. And that's coming from their side. So that's what they truly think of her. And obviously we feel the same way. And I did have it out with her on the last
live you did.
Live, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
She was in the chat, and it was like, all right, game on, let's do this. I'm glad she did because she's the only one that had enough balls to actually come to me. Even if she did lie. She did lie. And it's like, well, you can't hide voice notes. People say you can doctor screenshots and stuff like that. Listen here. We've got years and years of proof. Like, you guys are nuts. Like, and we show the proof. And when it's coming from a verified account, I'm sorry, but it's not fake. So say what you want.
And I'm not being funny. You can say what you want, but you can't deny that I spend hours a day doing research.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever my phone is in my hand, I am doing research. To make sure everything that I'm saying to you is fact-checked.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that really annoys me.
And that is 100% fact, people. Like, it's funny because she said something about, I think it was last night or this morning, I can't remember, but we were talking about old screenshots, and I'm like, she had to go through her cloud storage, and I'm like, oh, show me some old screenshots. And sure enough, it was from like 2017, I think. Wasn't it not? Wasn't one from
Dude.
February 2017?
Oh, that was the scammy one. Yeah, Sammy.
Yeah. So
I
I
can put it up.
mean, yeah,
Don't say. I'll put it up.
yeah. Oh yeah, actually show that one. That's a good one to show.
It was literally February 2017.
And she still has it. Like, people ask me for a screenshot, and I get severe anxiety because I have like 3,600 screenshots on my phone. So I panic because it's like, oh my god, how far do I have to go back? Stacy will take the time and do it. Like, she's amazing at record keeping.
Oh, there it is. Right, get ready for this because you're gonna laugh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I might have to go and post it on Twitter.
You should, and tag her in it. And
Yeah.
Corey. Tag
Yeah.
Corey in it too.
Can everyone see that as it come up? I'm not sure if you can see it. It's really small. It's a picture of Sammy with two of her friends, and it says OG Wolfpack, hashtag girls night, hashtag Saturday night.
Wolfpack. And that's Sammy Robin. That's not her real name, but that's what she goes by on Twitter. She's actually Corey Feldman's publicist. So she's calling herself the Wolfpack, which I find hilarious because, she's supposed to be Team Corey. Go Corey.
And I found another interesting one where he basically says in the tweet that Judy didn't get paid.
Oh, show that one too. Yeah, you did have some good ones. Remember?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I remember all of these. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, I just found that weird one. Oh God. Is this young girl, and she says, but you know what? Corey Feldman told me I'm going to be a model one day, and even if that doesn't happen, probably won't. That industry is a trash for self-esteem. A man who has been in Hollywood all his life thinks that about me. Thank you, Corey Feldman. Feed my ego more. It was kind of weird because I was like 15 and he's old, but I think about this a lot. I have no reason to feel bad ever. Once again, thank you, Corey Feldman.
See?
That is sleazy.
Even Tammy, who is, well, she says she's neutral, but she's Feldfam because she founded it in 1925.
Oh my god, it just nearly dies. Jesus Christ.
He created it in 1925, 50 years before Corey Feldman was born. She even said that he's going after young girls. That's too funny. Oh my god, I can't even make a serious point. I'm trying to make a serious point. I'm laughing.
Oh, sorry.
But jokes aside, okay, maybe if I can stop laughing. She's even said that he's gone for underage girls, like, publicly. I'm not saying, physically, because obviously I can't say I wasn't there.
Yeah.
See how that's done, Sullivan?
Oh god, I can't laugh anymore.
It's just that kind of day. I'm quarantined, man. Like, I have nothing to do now. God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, this screenshot should come up now. Oh god. It says she didn't get paid. I've been told BW, I won't say his name, is getting paid. But most of them are victims of bullying and brainwashing. They play the sick old lady needs a favour card and people fall for it. They actually have good intentions, some of them, and think they're doing good. Hashtag deception. So, yeah.
He's the master of deception.
He is. Did I find any other good ones? Oh, God. Yeah. No, not that one. Oh, God. No, get off, get off, get off. Oh, I'm going to get you strike now. Sorry, Kim.
Why, what?
It just showed a certain person's screenshot. It's going to flash past now.
Was it someone naked?
HDM.
Oh, well. Whatever.
Let's have a look. No, that's rubbish.
That's not doxing.
No, but you know what she's like. You can't
No,
mention her,
that's
talk
fine. Go
about her,
right ahead.
represent her.
Go right ahead because you can appeal copyright strikes, and that's not even a copyright because I didn't even disclose her information. When you put something on social media, it's not private.
Yeah.
So go ahead, like try and strike me. I'll just counterclaim, and it'll get reposted. So I'm not concerned whatsoever. Like I'm not showing her personal information. I'm not giving out her address. Not giving out her phone numbers. Like not even talking about her. Like she hasn't even been brought up.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week, I think.
Yeah, it's probably gonna get more interesting being stuck in this house.
When I start getting cabin fever, I'll probably end up living on YouTube Live.
Probably what?
End up living on YouTube Live.
No kidding, right? Yeah, you might end up getting some more lives. We'll be the Rona entertainment.
Yeah. You'll find some way to cheer you all up.
Yep. Can't get worse.
Even if it's listening to Kim go on a rant, because they're quite funny too.
Yeah, sometimes they are. I gotta admit. I call it Tourette's when I get going. Like sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. And
It's
then other times,
hilarious.
yeah, it's well, yeah. They used to happen a lot more often. Now I'm pretty chill these days. It's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
you are a bit.
Yeah. Even when I have every reason to be panicking right now, but I'm trying not to because it is what it is. Like worrying about
Yeah.
things isn't going to change the outcome. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, it's also we're in scary times right now. Like I don't know if you guys are quarantined. I don't know what your status is in your state, your city, your province, your
Oh,
country.
I'm getting really annoyed with the information that's being put out over here. It's like
Well, yeah,
so
like
conflicting.
it's not. First of all, I don't want to hear about it every single second of the day. You know what I mean? Like I've been
Yeah,
trying to just keep going on as life is normal.
me
Good thing I
too.
have two jobs, like because one job I'm laid off from now, which is the major job. That was full time. Like I have a full time job and I have a part time job. And the full time job is unfortunately the one that I've been laid off of. So now I'm like panicking because it's
Yeah.
like, you got bills coming up that I don't have the money for. And it's very stressful. Like, and I'm not used to being in that situation. Like, I work two jobs. So I'm not in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been pretty stressful, but I've been trying to keep myself positive, trying to keep myself occupied, not think about it so much. It's good to be educated. The stuff that I'm interested in knowing is obviously how it's going to affect me. So like the government stuff, like the
hmm
EI, that sort of crap. Because right now it's affecting my life. I need to know how it's gonna
Well,
work
this
out.
is this is how ignorant I was to it all. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't even realise when they brought in the self isolation thing. I
Mhm.
thought I was fine.
Right.
Um, I phoned the doctors just to be sure, and I was like, well, I've got asthma and I'm diabetic.
Uh-huh.
So what does that mean basically? And he was like, oh, you've got to self isolate. So I was like, okay. He said, you're high risk, so make sure you stay indoors, don't go outside. Um, so how long's that for? 12 weeks.
Yeah, I hear it's 14 days.
So I kind of went, are you kidding me? Did you just say 12 weeks? Being
Yeah.
stuck in the house? And he
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah. So I ended up putting my kids out of school on Wednesday
Yep.
because if I got to self isolate, they can't go to school.
Right.
Um, and the schools then closed Friday, today.
Yeah. Our schools are closed
So,
for 3 weeks. They've closed everything that is not considered to be essential. So like bars, restaurants or dine-in or sorry, like delivery or takeout. They've now, as of today, you can't go visit in the city that I live in and another city that I work in. You're not allowed to go to the hospital as a visitor now, right now. My personal city has declared a state of emergency. Our province did, like Ontario did, but now like the city I live in has declared one as well, which I didn't really understand the point of because as far as I'm concerned, if Ontario declared one, then it would automatically cover my city. But apparently it's for like funding and like materials for like the healthcare workers and stuff like that.
mhm.
Supposedly it's supposed to be a benefit to help protect the workers and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know, but like it's good to have some facts and some knowledge behind it, but like people are just taking it to a different level. Like I don't know about like where you live, but we couldn't even buy fucking toilet paper. Like we've
Oh
stocked up.
my God.
Yeah, it was that bad. Like the shelves
No,
were completely empty. There was the other day in the grocery store, there was no meat or bread products whatsoever. Nothing. You could not
it's
buy
it's
any,
it's it's
no
still
toilet
like
paper.
that here today. Yep.
Yeah, it was scary. So now I said to my brother the other day, I was like, I don't care how much fucking toilet paper we have. I'm like, if you're out and you see it, you buy it. Like I'll do the same. So like we're stocked up now because it's like you don't want to run out of that, right? Like so, he's been getting like cleaning supplies and stuff, but we're not hoarding like some people you see. Like we're
Oh,
getting
I
the free
can't
meat.
stand it. I cannot
It's
stand
really
it.
bad. So now they've made it so the seniors can go, I think it's like an hour or two in the morning
Yeah, they did the same
by
here as well.
themselves. Yeah, so they're not getting like overwhelmed, which is a good
And
thing.
also, they're doing it for our health staff as well, the
Yeah.
NHS
Too.
staff.
And now, like a lot of the businesses that are open, even the beer stores and liquor stores have restricted their hours. Grocery stores have restricted their hours somewhat so they can do more preparation and cleaning. Gail Weston, which is like the CEO of one of like the major food corporations, like Loblaws, which is big in Ontario.
Yeah.
He did an announcement. I think I seen it on Twitter, and he was saying, we've restricted our hours. We're doing things.
Hmm.
It's going to be a different type of style of shopping now. He's like, things are going to be more prepared
Yeah.
and packaged, so there's less handling of product. We've reduced our store hours so our staff can clean. Like I feel sorry for people that work at like grocery stores and because they're at very high risk. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, ugh, wow.
Well, it's like that post I shared the other day that basically says, the key workers have been revealed, and it's not the bankers and the hedge fund trust fund
Right,
babies,
right.
it's the checkout staff, and it's like the cleaners and
Yeah,
teachers.
and truck drivers, they're huge.
Yeah.
If the truck drivers stopped working, the world would come to a standstill because nobody would be able to get food or supplies.
Well, yeah. But yeah, unfortunately for me, I've got to put up with my prime minister's face all over the telly every day at the minute
Right.
because he's doing
Yeah.
daily updates live.
Yeah,
Um,
apparently they've been doing that here, but I've missed them because of work. So,
I genuinely can't stand my prime minister, so it's hard to watch.
yeah.
But uh, yeah, he announced today that by midnight tonight, he wants every bar, club, restaurant, cinema, everything to close.
Not even for takeout and delivery.
The only things that can open is like the fast food places that do delivery.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can stay open, but he wants everything else to shut. Um,
Scary.
what was it? He said something about it's like a package available for like small businesses, self-employed, so they don't struggle. And I was actually shocked to hear that they're going to pay 80% of wages missed from work. So
Well, that's a fucking bonus because when they had our meeting yesterday afternoon, like I'm done at 3:30, and they had our meeting at like 10 after 3 to tell us that we were laid off for a minimum of 2 weeks. They told us that it's 55% of our wages that it's considered to be a layoff. Then I'm hearing that
wow.
they can't do that, but also something else to consider is my place is unionized. So what people like the laws that ordinary employers go by are not necessarily the same as my union contract, right?
Yeah.
So like it's great that the government has a package, but if you have a union, you fall under different categories. And I hope that it covers me because I'm in the union. I'm about to find out, I guess. So
Yeah. So, but yeah, like what's annoying me the most about the whole thing is the scaremongering. Like the media have gone to town and everyone's
yeah,
freaking out. There's just no
yeah.
need of it.
You need to stay calm. You need to stop hoarding shit. Like the grocery stores have gone on record saying we will be able to come up with the demand, like the supply. It's just we weren't prepared for the amount of buying that people do.
Yeah.
The way that they do their ordering, my brother knows this. He worked in grocery for 25 years. It's just in time ordering. So basically, they only order like a couple days worth of stuff for their shelves, right? But they
Yeah.
get deliveries a couple times a week. Well, they can increase that if they do their projections right. Well, when
Hmm.
a catastrophe happens like this pandemic, nobody knew how that everybody was going to go and buy 50 rolls of toilet paper at one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And the way I look at it is this, panic buyers piss me off anyway. Like in my country, snow is so rare, so when we get it, people will go out and panic buy
Oh yeah.
bread,
Victoria,
milk.
BC is like that here. They don't even have a plower in their city.
Yeah,
When it snows, like they don't know what to do. They don't even own shovels. Like,
but like in my opinion, what I'm seeing now in my supermarkets is 10 million times worse than what that would be.
yeah,
And like I've got a 73-year-old mum that
yeah,
I can't take care of now because I'm in self-isolation too.
right,
She's 73. She's got COPD.
yeah,
So, I'm trying to do what I can. I go to the supermarket 2 days ago to
yeah,
try and get her enough meals to steer over till my sister comes down.
yeah,
There's no meat, there's no veg, there's nothing.
yeah.
So I go to the next supermarket, it's the same. And then the next is the same.
I know.
So while you're out there buying all of this stuff, think of someone like my mum who can't go out, is very high risk, and
Yeah,
can't survive because there's no food.
yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm not 73. I'm not old, but I'm not. Well, I guess I'm kind of high risk because I have asthma and diabetes too. But whatever. But I'm the type of person like it's just for me, right? Like I only cook for myself when I
Yeah.
cook because most times I'm working during the mealtime hours. But so I only go by the day. Like I'll go to the grocery store after work and get what I need. So if they were to ever shut the grocery stores down, like I would be screwed. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have 2 weeks worth of supplies. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't, and never mind longer than that. Like, I mean, it's different when you're buying groceries for a family. Do you know what I mean? But when you're only buying it for one person, like there's no need for me to go and spend $200-300 on food. It's ridiculous. Like,
I'm not being funny. In the way things are at the minute, who can afford to shop like that? Because I know I
exactly.
can't.
I know, because the money that I have, like I'm sitting on it because like I already have rent that I can't pay coming up because of my job situation now. So like the money that I do have, I'm saving it for the absolute necessity bills. Do you know what I mean? Like my car payment has to continue because if I don't have a car, I can't work. So like, I mean, you have to pick and choose during this time. Like, and I'm not leaving myself in a situation where I have no money. Like it's very scary. Like I'm not used to living like this. Like I was having a very bad day yesterday, like panicking. And then someone went and did something so incredibly nice for me. Like it really made my day. Like,
Well, I actually had an email that brightened up a little bit earlier. My car finance company sent me an email,
uh-huh.
and they've basically said they're offering payment breaks. So
Oh, really? I wish mine would send me one like that for fuck's sake.
yeah, so that's quite. I mean, that's to me that's £150 a month.
Oh God, mine's double that. My car
So
payment is like 183 every 2 weeks.
wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that is a bit of a silver lining. If I can have payment breaks, that'd be good because the
Well,
money would be
and
handy right now.
you keep hearing these situations, but so far I've yet to hear one that's beneficial to me. Like, the mortgages, they're willing to waive the mortgages for up to 6 months for the landlords. That's great for my landlord, but I'm not going to get 6 months behind on rent. There's no fucking way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no,
Like,
and that's the thing. Like we can all say, it's all very good to say now.
mhm.
Oh well, they can't sack us now. They can't evict us now. No, they probably can't.
No, but as
But
soon as
when
this
it's
is over, they can.
exactly,
And like, then I'm told if you go on self-isolation, then I will top up your wages. Well, somebody asked that question yesterday when they had our meeting at work to tell us that, we're out of jobs right now. They said, well, what if I go on self-isolation? And she's like, well, that's only good for one more day because after that, then there's no job. So she's like, that won't work. So it's almost like she knew what she was thinking and was saying like, no, you're not going to get the 80 or 90%. You're only going to get 55. And she actually said that. So it's
wow.
like, yeah, it's like, this wasn't my choice to stop working.
I just get really, really annoyed at these people that have an attitude that like life has got a price.
I know. And I probably
That's the
sound
way it
very
sounds.
insensitive. I probably sound very insensitive, but the reality is, for my situation, I'm a single person. Like, I rely on myself. Do you know what I mean? I don't have any other source
Yeah,
of income other than another job. I don't have a spouse that supports me. I don't get a
no,
baby bonus or anything because I don't have kids. So, like, it all relies on me. And even though there's this emergency going on in the world right now, it doesn't stop reality. I wish it did. I wish that it did.
Yeah.
It would make it so much less stressful if it did.
No, I
But
just mean like the big companies that still have to make their money.
I know,
I,
because
I
those
just
people are the ones that are in a position that could help. Like for instance, why doesn't the hydro company and the gas companies and stuff say, okay, since you guys are stuck at home, we're going to offer you, because here we have two different prices for hydro. We have peak hours and then off peak hours, right? So why
Mhm.
don't they say for the next, like, however long you're stuck in your home, like if it's 2 months or whatever it ends up being, say 2 months for the sake of argument, for the next 2 months we're going to offer you off peak hours, so you
Yeah.
pay cheaper rate. I'm not looking to try and get anything free, but a deal would help. You know what I mean? Like, it would help. It would
Well,
take the sting out of all of it.
obviously there's a thing at the minute where like the hospitals are filling up, they've got no room, and as worse as it's getting, obviously the hospitals can't cope. There was some guy from the UK owns a chain of hotels,
Mhm.
which he has offered up to use as hospitals.
Right.
Because
That's
obviously, yeah. But the private healthcare system in this country, which is a joke by the way, um, has said to the NHS, which is the free service, they will rent their beds to them for £2.4 million per day.
per day.
Per day.
Wow.
So, like, that's basically stripping our free health service, makes them worse off and can't help in the situation. But they
Well,
need
and then you
beds.
also send me something that this is the same country that wants retired doctors and nurses to return back to duty.
Oh, yeah. Literally, all of the retired doctors and nurses and GPs and whatever have been called back to the NHS to help fight the virus. And they're
That's
all
crazy.
retired.
And they're all probably higher risk because they probably all have underlying issues. You know what I
And the
mean?
fact they're old, no offense.
Yep. No, it doesn't
So,
help that you're elderly in this situation.
no. So, yeah.
And then add in another like risk factor like diabetes or asthma, especially asthma, because it's like a pneumonia type of sickness.
Yeah.
And like I had an accident years ago, a car accident. And like when I was 17, I turned 18 in the hospital and I hit a pole and I broke 6 ribs on my left side and one went through my lung and my lung punctured and collapsed. So
Yeah.
I have breathing issues anyways, even on a good day, like, and I smoke, so I'm a champ. But
Yeah. You're as bad as
um,
me. Like, it's all
I
respiratory.
know. So
I've
when
got
I,
asthma,
yeah,
a chronic sufferer of my sinuses, sleep apnea. It's all respiratory issues. So if I get
yeah,
this virus, I'm fucked.
I know. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? So with the underlying issue, it doesn't help. So, but I mean, it is what it is. Like you can't stop the world. Like I mean, it still
No.
has to go on, and you know, I just don't see the point of the whole panic thinking. Like I mean, it's hard not to at times when you think about it. Like my brother took the day off work the other day because he wasn't in a good way and he was just overthinking things and kind of worried about everything. And like we had a good talk, and I was like, Steve, like we've been through this before as a country, like as a world, as a nation. Like I mean, we've been through SARS, we've been through what was the other one, H1N1. There's been a few different types of epidemics that have happened over the years that didn't get this type of propaganda, by the way. So it makes you wonder, like,
No.
I'm not going to sound like the conspiracy theorist here, but I mean, that's a different
This is
issue.
why. This is why I'm not taking it. I'm taking it seriously. Of course, I am. I'm in my house. I'm not leaving.
Mhm.
But I'm not freaking out because, like,
Yeah.
we survived bird flu,
Yep.
swine flu,
Yep.
Asian flu. Like,
Yep.
we've had them all.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'm not
And then,
denying it's happening, but
yeah.
come on, calm
Yeah.
down.
Exactly. And try to have some fun. You need to be your Rona entertainment.
Well,
And
exactly.
we can do that. So
And I've said we become a teacher. I have to homeschool my kids.
add that to your resume. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Well,
Oh, it's really
Gina was in a
entertaining.
documentary for 2 seconds and she's an actress now, didn't you
Oh God.
know?
Have you seen her profile picture on Twitter?
No.
Wow. That's all I'm gonna say. It looks like two men in the picture.
Oh, I'm assuming one third.
If I pull it up, she is going to hit the roof, so I'm not going to.
Don't bother. Just if you're on Twitter and you know Gina's thing,
Yeah,
check
just have a look.
it.
It's
Yeah.
frightening. Feldman actually looks more feminine.
Oh, it's with Feldman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Dude looks like a dude. Like dude looks like a lady. You know.
Yeah. So.
All I keep thinking, I just read that last comment about the Spanish flu. All I keep thinking is, did you see the movie Outbreak?
Yeah.
That's all I keep thinking about this whole thing. And it's like, you know, I keep waiting for the fucking military to come in. Like, you know,
Oh, they're on reserve here already, 20,000 of them.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's 20,000 to cover England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So it's 4 countries.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but yeah. But everyone's like, oh no, the army's coming. They're going to shoot us. Get a grip.
No, they're not. They're not there to shoot people. They're there to fucking
Keep the
implement
peace.
martial law, basically, and to make sure that you follow laws and that people don't start looting and crime goes up. So I read somewhere on Twitter, I believe it was, that like certain states are running out of like guns and ammunition. So like people are going out and hoarding toilet paper and buying guns and ammunition for what reason? Do you know what I mean? Like what are you anticipating is going to happen here?
All it's going to take is for one person to trigger it. And I'll say that for a fact.
Well,
And
I'm
it'll be
glad.
like the purge.
I'm glad in my country we don't have the right to bear arms. You have to apply for it. It's a privilege here. It's not a right. So you don't have people, mental patients walking around with guns. Like
Oh
I
God.
mean, criminals will get their hands on them, no way around it. There is always a black market. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's very heavily restricted. So I'm confident that way. Like somebody made a post the other day and it was a group, it's like a photography group I'm in or some shit. And
Yeah.
someone's like, oh, wouldn't it be good to turn off all the lights at night so we could get great pictures of like the auroras, like the northern lights, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, okay, yes, it would, but like it would also increase your crime rate by like 300%. You dumb fuck. Like, who's gonna turn the lights out at night? Are you insane? Like, we lost our hydro here about 15 years ago for 2 days. Like, the entire country lost it pretty much. Only select areas had it. And it
Yeah.
was like a total brownout in the middle of summer. Like, it was stifling hot and like businesses closed for a couple days. Like, everybody, like, it was crazy. Like, only certain gas stations sold gas because a lot of them didn't have generators. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got through that. But I mean, you know, at no point did we think that it would be okay to go looting. You know what I mean? Like we're Canadians, man. We're like peacekeepers. We don't
The
think
only
like
the
that.
only thing that happened similar to that was the London riots. I think that was about 3-4 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. It was
What
really
was
bad.
what were they rioting over? Like just cause or
I can't even remember what triggered it. It might have been. There's a massive issue with race and the police in London.
okay.
The white police are very racist against people of color.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think like a young black person was killed by a police officer, and the police officer got away with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So the next thing you know, like in the entire of London was just riots, fires, shops being looted, fighting.
That's
Yeah,
actually valid.
it
You
was
know what I mean?
horrific.
It's that's a valid reason to riot.
Well, yeah.
You know?
So that was quite scary though to watch.
I just read that comment. We put a bullet in someone's ass if they break in or try to rob us. I'll tell you a story. The company that I worked for before I got this job, the brother-in-law owned another business as well, and I think it was a shoe store, I want to say.
Mm.
Well, someone broke into this shoe store and the guy shot him, like the brother-in-law shot him, like, you know, the guy whose place got broke into, shot him, and he was charged with shooting him before the other guy was charged with breaking and entering.
Wow.
Isn't that mental? You're only allowed to use as much force as necessary. You're not allowed to use excessive force. Now, if that were me and I was by myself and somebody broke in, mind you, I don't have a gun, but if I did and I shot somebody, I would think I was within my rights because, like, you're in my space. I'm defending myself. Like, I am threatened. Like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's the way the laws work here. Like, you know.
Yeah, my laws are pretty firm. Like, any weapon you're caught carrying, it's an automatic prison sentence. So just like no guns, knives, although knife crime is on the rise. Like, for example, when Feldman said he's travelled to the UK with his taser. Like,
Yeah.
that is absolute bullshit, because the second he would have got to the airport in London, he would have been arrested.
Yeah. Same as,
'Cause-
well, he said he did it with an Ontario too, and like Canada, and I have a hard time believing that as well. But he was on TMZ.
yeah, he was caught with it in LAX.
Oh, right.
But like, if you're caught with a taser in this country, you're looking at 10 years in prison.
Wow, that is really, really strict.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would get, I don't know what would happen to you. I don't even want to venture a guess because I don't know. You probably, if it was your first offense and you got charged with having a taser, that's a different story. If it was a gun and you didn't have a license to carry and you were carrying a gun,
Yeah.
you'd probably go to jail. But I don't know for sure. Like, I'm like ignorant in that sense of the word for like our legal in that way, because I don't have a criminal background, so I don't even experience.
I didn't even realise until obviously he posted it was in TMZ, I think it was, where he said he'd been to the UK with it. And I actually looked it up and I was like, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
And I posted it on Twitter as well, saying, no, you haven't, you're a liar. So, yeah.
I should unblock Corey so he can see my tweets.
I don't think I have him blocked.
You don't on your main one, because that's how he knew. Remember, he said about you being in the wolf pack.
Oh, yes.
And you're paid to do evil. That's how he figured out that
evil.
You don't have him blocked, so he can still see your tweets.
Yes, unblock him.
I should unblock him so he can see mine, because wouldn't it blow his mind?
Oh, yeah. And he would sit there and read it all too, because he's just that twisted. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, my drink went down the wrong tube.
See, don't choke.
Ha! I'm drowning. I hate when that happens. Oh my god.
It hurts.
It does hurt. Like, and you're not prepared for it. And it's like all of a sudden you're like coughing and nobody understands what just happened. And it's like you can't even talk for a second. Like, I was trying to say, oh my god, hang on, and I couldn't even talk. Like,
yeah, I couldn't even breathe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh. Yeah, so
well,
do you have anything else to cover?
No, I think we've covered a wide range of everything.
Yeah, we have. From bitches to snitches to hookers to wars to guns to barking dogs. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun hanging out with you guys.
This has been fun.
It has. So we'll get together and we'll do this again real soon. How's that?
Yeah, we should.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see you later.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks. See ya.
Peace out, bitches.